Hey everyone, this is Donald with Merch Science. I wanted to give you a quick overview of our rapid design templates. This is something I'm really excited about because I think it's going to really give you an edge in your merch design game. Because once you get used to using these templates, you should be able to quickly and pretty easily make about 10 or 20 designs an hour, even if you don't have any design skill. And of course, you're going to have access to a program like Adobe Photoshop or GIMP to get this file to work. I know a lot of merch sellers are using the Over app, Pixlr, things like that. I really don't know if those support PSD files or layers. I don't use those programs, so I really can't offer any advice if that's what you're using. So right now I'm going to go ahead and open the PSD file here in Photoshop. We'll assume you've already done some research in the niche for the template that you're using. So really all you need to do is grab a bunch of phrases for designs that are selling well. So like, hop on the Merch Informer or whatever, do some searches in your niche. Now I'm not a fan of copying phrases word for word. I really don't like doing that. Definitely want to stay away from any phrases that are actually copyrighted. But for example, if you're making a set of designs based on the what's your superpower phrase, that's copyrighted. You can't use that. But you can make a little variation, like say, I'm a teacher. What superpower do you have? Or you can come up with some kind of slight variation on that phrase. You don't need to steal ideas. Take inspiration from popular designs, but you got to make them your own. So what I'm showing you today is what we're calling the Great Outdoors Rapid Design Template. We have several different templates, but I just wanted to show you this one. This is actually my favorite one right now. This template has about 20 different images, both color and black and white, or monochrome. All of our design templates are a little bit different in what they offer. A lot of the holiday themed templates are just color, like the Christmas and Thanksgiving stuff, really vibrant, popping colors. Some are only in monochrome or black and white. Some have both color and monochrome, like this template here. So just read the template description that you're interested in. So the first thing you're going to get when you open the template is this kind of warning text that says, hey, you need to switch to RGB mode before you save as a PNG file. Merch by Amazon recommends designing in CMYK and then converting over to RGB before you actually save the file. So that's just kind of a reminder on doing that. Also, there's of course a link here that shows you the link to the video that you're watching right now. So we'll go ahead and hide that layer and move on. And so as you can see here in the symbol, we have a ton of layers for both the color and the monochrome versions of each image. From here, you're basically just going to go and pick the images that go in well with the phrases that you've chosen, the phrases that you've selected based on your research. So for now, I'm just going to show you how to create a couple of the sample designs that we show in the product listing for this design template. So for the first one, I think that was the Lake Life design. I really like that design. It was super easy to make. Probably took me just a few minutes. I guess we can see here exactly how long it would take to make. Again, you're going to want to do some research to see what actually is selling. That's just one I just came up with off the top of my head, just to make a quick and easy sample. But come up with the phrase that you like, and then pick the images to go along with it. So for Lake Life, I think we used this. I used this lake river scene here, and I think I used the this paddle. This background layer, of course, you're going to hide that at the end. So I'm just going to bring this up just for me. Now, this is not a Photoshop tutorial. I'm just showing you how to use this file. Okay, so some of the things I'll show you are not necessarily the most efficient way to do things. I'm just showing you how easy it is to use this particular template. If you know Photoshop like the back of your hand, you're going to be able to do this a lot faster. But if you really don't know anything about Photoshop or GIMP, this is still pretty easy. So for this template, I've got the just the lake scene and the paddle and oar. And I think one of the first things I did was I just changed the color of that mountain. So we'll just select color range. Let's hit this brown there. And I think all I did was just desaturate that piece of it. So desaturate. Again, if you're a Photoshop expert, this is going to be a lot faster for you. I kind of taught myself Photoshop, so I'm a little bit slower than a lot of the experts out there. So we'll just brighten that up just a little bit. Okay. And let's bring that ore back on here. And we're just going to rotate. Oops, sorry about that. Pick the right layer there. We're going to rotate the correct thing there. I'm going to bring that down just a little bit and duplicate that layer. Rotate that. And this is one of the things I do a lot on my designs. I like to do a little fake stroke on these images. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I'm going to stroke it at we'll say a 20 point. And rasterize that layer. Select all. I'm going to delete from this layer underneath. Okay. Hide that layer. So what we've actually done is just made a stroke on that underlying ore there, just to make it stand out a little bit better. And actually what we're going to do is do the same thing on the pair of ores. So we'll merge those layers, duplicate, layer style, stroke. We'll do another 20 point, rasterize that layer, select it, hide it, click on that lake scene, delete. And so the reason for that is because if I go down here, you see it actually just, that's going to make this sort of faux stroke. It's going to pick up the colors of the shirt underneath. It's going to look really, really well done. It's going to look like a stroke, but you're not really stroking the image. You're just using the color of the shirt underneath to make that image pop a little bit better. So I think the next thing I did there, well, I'm just kind of going from memory, I added, I think it was just the font, I mean just the text at this point. So it said what, Lake Life. Oh, I've actually already got the font selected. This is the Brother font, which I linked to in the product description. So we'll drop that up. Let's bring that on top of the ores, and we'll just put a small arc on that. I think it was about 20. Okay, and resize it a little bit. Let's just bring it in slightly, and we'll just center that, and bring it up a little bit. Now again, duplicate that layer. I mean, I do this on everything just because I love the effect, but layer style, stroke 20, rasterize, select. And actually, before I do that, I want to merge these two layers, right? Because I want to make it delete from all of that. Delete from there. And then you see, this is basically our finished design there. Okay, so that's pretty quick. Then we'll took just a few minutes to make that design. Let's go ahead and save that to our desktop. We'll call it whatever, Lake Life. Don't want to save it as a PSD. And actually, while I'm here, I'll show you this. So what I was talking about earlier, you cannot save as a ping because we're in CMYK. So cancel, image, mode, RGB. We can go ahead and, it doesn't matter, we can merge those layers because we're going to convert it all to a flat ping file anyway. So merge them, Save as desktop, and we'll just call it Lake Life. Again, not as a PSD. Save as a ping file. Sorry, Lake Life. There we go. So, again, sorry for all the kind of mistakes and hiccups. If you ever taught a course or taught one-on-one, you know, you make a lot more mistakes when you're trying to show someone how to do something than you would if you were just cruising right along. So, so at this point, we're going to go ahead and get this file uploaded to Merch. I just want to show you what it looks like. So over here on Merch, we're going to click Upload. I'll go back to our desktop. We've got Lake Life there. We'll just double click on that. And we've got our image loaded there. And of course, we can just pick our colors, and we're good to go. Amazon takes a while to load these images. Anyway, that looks good. I mean, that took just a few minutes to make that design, and yeah, you're probably not going to get a lot of hits on a shirt that just says Lake Life. But again, if you've researched some good phrases, and that's a good looking shirt, and just took just a few minutes to make. So next we're going to look at I think this section is the RV going. So we'll hop back over here. We'll just revert this file. And again, this one was pretty easy to make. It just took probably just a few minutes. Like I said, once you get used to this, you can just crank these designs out quickly. It's taking me longer because I'm trying to show you step by step how to use this. But once you get your phrases in and you know what's in this file, it's going to take you just a few minutes to pop these in. So I think for that one we had it was a little bit more complicated. I think we had the campfire, we had the mountains there, and I think we just had the camper. So we'll just hide some of this stuff right now. Let's take these mountains, let's resize those a little bit. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and desaturate those. Take these mountains, make those a little bit smaller. And we'll drop those, I don't know, let's just drop them right there. Desaturate those. Let's drop back to our first mountains and make those a little bit brighter. That looks pretty good. And from this mountain set, we'll just cut this piece out. Okay, easy. Let's drop in our camper there. Pick the correct layer. I'll make it about, I don't know what size it was on the t-shirt that I created, and before we even do that, let's merge these layers. Center those. Let's drop that camper on top of the mountains. Bring those up a little bit. Bring our campfire in. That looks pretty good. And we're going to recolor this camper to make it kind of a pink purple because we're doing the glamping thing. I don't know if you know what glamping is. I didn't know what it was until I started designing t-shirts, but glamping is just, I guess it's a portmanteau of glamour camping. So you just bring a lot of like high-tech stuff while you're camping. Anyway, we'll just do a photo filter on that. Again, there's probably an easier way to do this, but I just like to do it this way. We'll make the camper purple. You could play with that all day and make it whatever color you think looks good, but for now I'll just stick with that. Okay. And again, you know I got to do that stroke effect that I love so much. So let's duplicate that layer. Let's stroke it, 20 point. Okay, rasterize. Select that layer, hide that, delete from the mountains. And we'll move that campfire up just a little bit. That looks good enough. Merge these layers. And center that. Okay, it's already centered. And we'll just add our text. And for this one, I think I used the Amisteri font. And I think it was this one. So RV going. I think it was a little bit bigger. And had a little arc on it. Center it. And down here, the lamping, but it was the Amisteri script. And make that a little bit smaller. Okay. We can rasterize and merge those layers. Again, this is my go-to effect here. I'm going to stroke it 20 point. Rasterize, select, and delete. So easy. Let's merge those layers. Okay. Center it. We'll probably move it up a little bit to look a little bit better on the shirt design. Hide that bottom layer. Done. We'll save it as glamping pink. Oh, forgot to switch back to our RGB. Again, save as, desktop, pink file, glamping. And that's it, another design. I think it took that may have taken 4 minutes. I'm not really watching the clock here. Now you can definitely come up with some more complex images. You know, we can step back here and, you know, you could add some clouds in up here. Oops, sorry. We could add some clouds in up here, whatever. Let's just drop that back here. Of course, you would want to delete that piece off of the mountains. Right. You could add some trees in there, whatever. And again, you just want to cut out, to obviously bring those in front of the mountains, delete that, whatever. You could definitely make it more complex. We could add the sun in there, we could have more trees, but honestly, you don't really need to. If you have a good phrase that people can relate to, you know, a few simple images to go along with that phrase, you're going to come up with a good design. You don't need to sit here, especially with a template like this, and sit here for 15, 20, 25 minutes designing. That's not what this is for. This is not to create a highly complex image. This is You got your phrases, you got a good phrase, you need a few images to make your phrase just kind of pop on a t-shirt to draw more attention. This is not, okay, I'm sitting here for an hour making an epic, crazy design that 15 people are going to rip off. You're just sitting here, you've got 20 phrases, you need 20 quick designs. That's what this is here for. Again, get your phrase, do your research, get some good phrases, grab a few of these images, and you're going to crank it out easy. 10, 15, up to 20 shirts an hour. If you learn how to use this, it doesn't take long. I mean, we're at 20 minutes now. I've already created 2 designs while I'm teaching you everything. If you're not teaching someone how to use this, you're going to easily be able to crank these out in 5 minutes. So that's all I have for right now. Hopefully these templates make designing a whole lot easier and faster for you. I know that they will. If you just give them a chance, I know they're going to make it a lot easier for you. If you have any questions, any suggestions, feel free to email us at lab@merchscience.com. We're going to come up with more of these templates. If you have ideas for more templates, shoot us an email. If you have any problems, if you just don't get it, reach out to us. We're happy to answer any and all questions. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Talk to you soon.